we're going to go over all parts of the event handbook to make sure that you understand how a remote competition is going to work this year. We're going to go over the format of the competition, who's getting awards, all of that stuff. The timeline of the competition, there are going to be different due dates for each part of the competition. We're going to go over what to expect with Zoom judging, what to expect with your robot game submissions, as well as the awards that we're giving out, and then finally the consent and release forms. The consent and release forms, even though it's the last thing we're going to cover, is going to be the most important part of this year's competitions. And then after we go over the handbook, I'm actually going to hand it over to DJ, who is going to tell you more about the nyc.fll-fll.org accounts that you will be receiving for each of your teams. So we're going to jump into the format of the competition first. This year, we started off with around 60 teams that signed up for FLL, a huge decrease from the 350 that we usually expect for a season, and 35 teams have signed up for the competition. So instead of making you guys, record a ton of robot games and submit it multiple times, we've decided to do just one gigantic 35 team competition over the course of 2 weeks. And the way that's going to work is that the week of April 19th is when everybody is going to go into their judging rooms. And that's also going to be the week where all of your robot game submissions are going to be due, specifically the day of April 19th. The second week is going to be reserved for callback judging. Now, callback judging isn't something that we do in New York City very often because it does take extra time, but it is common for First LEGO League across different regions. And the way that callback judging works, it's not necessarily that if you are in the highest levels of being considered for Champions Award, you get called back for a second round. It's actually a round of judging to help judges figure out the correct rankings for two teams that may have been very close to each other in each one of the judging categories. So, right off the bat, if you don't get a callback judging round, that doesn't mean that you're out of the running for one of the top prizes. That being said, callback judging, we expect only up to around 9 teams or so to receive callback judging rounds, and they will mostly be on Monday and Tuesday of April 26th. In the end, unfortunately, since First has canceled championships this year, this will be the highest level of competition in the region. And we will still crown our top 2 teams as champions of New York City. And our top 3 teams will still receive this very exclusive, can't get it anywhere else, First Lego League Trophy Cup. The first place one is absolutely massive. And it's still like a very cool prize to vie for. And just to be honest with all of you, the reason why we give out 3 trophy cups instead of the 2 for the 2 champions is because there were 3 sizes of trophy cups and we wanted to give as many out as possible. So we were allowed to order one of each size, and we're just going to give out all 3 of them. So those are going to go to our top 3 champions award winners. That being said, we do want to give out a whole lot of other awards, and we're going to go over more of the awards later on, but also you can find the list of awards in your event handbook under the awards chapter. The competition timeline is actually going to start tomorrow. So, between April 1st and April 16th, you're going to be able to submit a robot game practice video. And we're going to talk more about this later on, but the idea is that in that time you can have me and DJ review your robot game video and just let you know if anything needs to be changed for your actual robot game submissions. On the day of April 19th, which is the first day of judging, your robot game videos and score sheets are going to be due. And we'll talk more about the score sheets in a little bit. April 19th, as we said, is going to be judging all teams, then callback judging, and then finally, tentatively on May 2nd at 12 p.m. is going to be closing ceremonies. I'm like 95% sure about that. There might be a delay if we need more footage or if we need to record things. But mark your calendars. Now, the event that most teams are kind of looking forward to is really the live judging over Zoom. And each team is going to be spending a full 30 minutes with the judges this year. So if you take a look at the judging flowchart for teams, which is included in your handbook, you'll see that even the setup time is already baked into those 30 minutes that you're spending with the judges. So I would recommend that you practice that full 30 minutes if you can before competition starts. That being said, you are able to join the Zoom room approximately like 15 minutes beforehand to test any technology that you might be using, for example, screen sharing, making sure your audio works, things like that. And as usual, one coach may join the judging room. This year, it's to help with technical issues, and otherwise, you are going to be, as usual, out of the way and not helping with any part of the presentation. So, one thing that's different about judging this year that I want to highlight is that your team is actually going to get verbal feedback from the judges at the end of the judging session. To set some expectations around that, we have both DJ and I have done this process as judges in the past couple of months because we volunteered in other regions to see how this new judging process works. And I will say that most of the feedback that you're going to get that's going to be super valuable is still going on the rubrics that you're going to get back. The feedback at the end of the judging session is going to be like 1 or 2 sentences from the judges. As I previously mentioned, please do plan to arrive 10 to 15 minutes for a tech check. Even if your tech has been working the entire time, if it's been working for the past 12 times you've been meeting and it's been perfect every single time, that one time you need it to work, it's not going to work. So please do plan to come 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that everything works properly. We are asking that teams to not take screenshots or videos inside of the judging rooms. This is kind of just a courtesy. Technically, everybody did, sign consent and release before they got there, but we don't want to put pressure on our volunteer judges and have them be like, hey, we're recording this entire thing. That being said, you are welcome to take photos, in the Zoom lobby as you're there. Everybody there has signed a consent and release. If we are going to take screenshots or videos in the Zoom lobby, for example, we see like a really cool, team outfit or something, and we're like, hey, can we like share this with people? We will always ask for explicit permission from everybody before we do so. And the other part of your competition is going to be robot game submissions. Those are not live. They're going to be pre-recorded. They're going to be submitted, and they can be submitted anytime before April 19th at 12 p.m. as well. So anytime is perfectly fine. All robot game submissions will be submitted through your assigned nyc.fll-fll.org account. And the way that that account works is that it will be tied to a Google Classroom. And that's where everybody is going to submit their everything that they need to submit for the competition. And then DJ and I will get a notification and we would be able to start reviewing those. We are asking you to submit a score sheet with each match. And that score sheet, we'll have more information about it in your Google Classroom, but there are online tools that you can use to just do a really quick score sheet and then take a screenshot and submit it with your robot game videos. And the reason why we're asking for the score sheet is because it helps our referees make sure that when they're giving the score, that it's matching what the team expected. And if it doesn't match what the team expected, we can give feedback around that, where they lost the points, or where the points didn't land where the team expected it to. As previously mentioned, there is that practice round submission. We are only reviewing it for videography. We're not going to be reviewing the practice round submission for any points that the team may have lost because of broken rules, and we're not going to give any feedback about the robot game strategy. The reason for that is that just like a normal competition, teams are expected to know all the robot game rules and the game rules before they attend their competition. So the reason why we are reviewing it for videography is that you'll see later on there is much more than just kind of the 2.5 minutes that you're recording. There's a whole process before you start before you start running your robot, as well as after the 2.5 minutes where you have to show us parts of the field. So we just want to make sure that before you submit your real robot game runs, that you have that videography part down pat and you're not losing points because of the videography. Remember, check the challenge updates. There have been challenge updates since the competition, the game was released all the way back in August of 2020, and some of them will likely affect what you are completing. Especially, I want to say the Boccia mission if you're completing that one. So, the robot game video recording, if you haven't seen the instructions yet, we've copied and pasted all of the official first instructions into the handbook just because of how difficult it is to get to that document that has all of the instructions. So, those are the official first guidelines. Please follow them for your video. Be aware of all of the actions that you need to take before and after the match. And then, yeah, if you have any questions about recording at all, reach out to me or DJ. I'll show you the email account for that after this. Let me see if I can play this tutorial video really quickly so that we can answer any of your questions on today's session as well.
You will upload a single unedited video. Start recording before the match, continue during the match with no pauses, and continue after the match to show the whole field. The type of camera you choose does not matter. If your team doesn't have walls to compete with, you can use black tape instead. Important note: the intention is for the robot to stay on the mat. The only place your robot can drive off the mat is into the home area. Make sure your field is completely set up. Your robot and all its equipment fits into one of the inspection areas. And show everything measures under 12 inches. Show your robot has a maximum of 4 motors. Show your innovation project if you have one. Choose your camera position. Here are some good examples of where one might stand when recording the match. Important note: check that your entire robot is in the launch area before you launch. Try to get a good camera angle from this position. The camera must show the whole field and home for the entire match. Do not move your camera and keep recording. When you are ready to begin your match, provide a verbal countdown and make sure to keep track of the time. Keep the camera rolling for the remainder of the match. When you stop the robot because it has completed all the actions, or because the match time is ended, please say the reason out loud for the camera. Examples: "We're all done now." "Okay, the match is over." Keep recording. Slowly pan on each mission and outcome. Make sure to focus on each mission where you believe you have earned points. Please narrate your successes and misses. Good luck, teams!
One thing that they didn't mention is that if you do need makeshift walls, you can create those makeshift walls out of anything. For example, like a stack of hardcover books, or you just have a wooden plank laying around. That is totally fine. Things like the black tape, if you don't have black tape, any type of way of showing where the barrier or where the table would end is completely fine. And if you need the dimensions of home, I believe they are in your robot game rulebook. So there are very specific dimensions of the space outside of the map. So yeah, as you can see, it is a very involved process. I imagine it will take quite a bit of practice to get it all down in one shot. Don't worry if your video seems like it's too long. And definitely if your robot game isn't going to last the full 2.5 minutes, you don't have to count down to the 2.5 minutes before you say that your robot is done. So if you have any questions about that, DJ and I are open to help you out with it, even if it's not, officially submitting a practice robot game. Especially if you're having trouble fitting the entire field into the frame, let us know, and there are always exceptions that we can make. No. Now to the fun part. So we are giving out a ton of awards this year. There are the official awards, which is all the awards that you should be familiar with if you've participated in First LEGO League before. That's going to be the Champions Awards, aka the Overall Performance Awards, the Robot Performance Awards, the Category Awards, so Core Value Awards, Robot Design Awards, and Project Awards. And then there are a couple of other awards that are new, but are official awards that First has introduced for this year. So there are ones called the Breakthrough Awards, the Rising Star Award. There's also a Coach/Mentor Award, which is interesting because it's something that your team will need to nominate you for. And we're going to provide a Google link on your Google Classroom account that your team can use to nominate you for the Coaches and Mentor Award. Please do send that out to your team. We would love to recognize as many coaches and mentors as we can. So the second type of award that we're giving out are just called unofficial awards. We expect the robot games to be really fun, to have lots of creativity involved this year. And we just want to give referees free reign to give out awards and highlight any really cool things that they see. We're going to highlight those robot games in our awards ceremony as well with the video clips that you have sent to us. And we will give out trophies for those. So one of the trophies that we're definitely going to give out is the most creative innovation project model for mission 1. So if you are creating a model for the innovation project, even if you're not using it as part of your robot game, you'll have a place to submit it, and then we'll do a little bit of informal judging on that. Completely arbitrary. There are no criteria for who's getting what. But other things that we expect to see that are really fun include the robot dance, if you guys are doing the dance, as well as the pull-up bar, if anybody's doing the pull-up bar. I know that one's a little bit tricky, but if we see really cool pull-up bar strategies, we would love to highlight those. So unofficial awards will also come with trophies. I'm really interested in giving out trophies this year, so we'll see. We'll give out as many as we can for those. Now, the most important part of this year, and the thing that I left for last to make sure that everybody is in this meeting, is the consent and release forms. Now, there are two consent and release forms that need to be submitted. One is for each youth team member, and one is for each adult coach. So let's talk about the coaches first. If you are a coach that is listed on firstinspires.org as a lead coach 1 or lead coach 2 of your team, you need to log in and you need to submit your consent and release. It's a very, very quick process. You'll see a notification on your dashboard that just says to go and accept your acknowledgement forms. You read it, you tick a box, and then you're good to go. You can be on the Zoom call, you can be in the judging room. The youth team members is a little bit more complicated, and I will first apologize in advance for everybody who have already submitted their youth team member consent and release forms, because they had a much harder job than everybody else will have. So you can either do it through the first system, which is where everybody has been doing it so far, or we have gotten approval to do a New York City consent and release form through Google Classroom. And that you will have access to when you do have your Google Classroom, and you will be able to either have parents fill it out through as a PDF and then re-upload it, or they can print it out, sign it, and then you'll have to upload the signed consent and release. Yeah. So once DJ shows you how that works, we will be keeping track of all of the consent and release forms that are coming to us. And unfortunately, if you do not submit a consent and release, we cannot admit you into the judging room. This is including students. We need to make sure that all students have their permission slips in, basically. And then finally, just a really quick overview of the account that you're going to receive before I hand it over to DJ. The NYC-FLL.org account is a way for us to make sure that we are following data protection laws. And the idea is that you are going to receive a pre-generated account for each one of your teams. That account will give you access to Google Classroom and Google Drive. I think technically it also gives you access to Gmail and all the other parts of the Google Suite, but you will not be using that for any part of this competition. And in your Google Classroom, DJ has set up ways for you to submit everything from your consent and release, your score sheets, nomination forms. We're going to ask for a team information sheet in the form of a Google form, so it'll be a lot easier to submit any items that you would normally submit on your team info sheet. And then if you reached out to us and had any accommodations that you needed for the competition itself, we would be able to add optional submission spots for you to submit whatever you need to. Once again, no email communications will go through that account. That being said, the coach that has signed up the team for the competition will be ultimately responsible for setting up the account. And I think now I'll just hand it over to DJ to go through everything you need to know about that account.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. Just a reminder, as Lisa mentioned, the only applications you will be using are Google Classroom and Google Docs and Google Drive. You might get access to Gmail or any other functions. We encourage you not to use them because you will lose access to these accounts once the event is over. So 2 weeks, well, you will technically lose your access within days after the event is done, so after May 2nd. But all accounts, all the information submitted to us will also be, as FTC says, purged within 2 weeks after the event completion. Uh, so you can disregard this. I'll send an email today. If you don't get an email, let us know. You can email me, dj@newyorkcityfirst.org, or Lisa, if you didn't get your account information, and we will make sure you get it. But those emails are scheduled, and I'm working on some last ones, and they should go out today at 8 p.m. So once logged into Google Classroom, once you log in with that information, you will see what's on my screen right now. It will ask you to join or to cancel the invitation to join the Google Classroom. And then once you log into Google Classroom, you'll see all the classes that you're invited to. You'll be invited to only FLL remote events or remote event. You will have to click join. Once you join, you'll be able to access all the information, materials, and submission forms that are on the Google Classroom for Teams. If I'm going too fast, let me know. Continue. So once you accept the join and you click join, you will see this. The class has been renamed to FLL remote event, so it's now going to say qualifier 1. Once on the main page, you can access the stream where all the recent updates, like it will say DJ posted, DJ posted, DJ posted, or Lisa posted. If there's anything like material posted or any assignments that we post. Assignments are some things that you might probably need to submit to us. You can see classwork, so that will be where mainly you can access them by category, like judging material submission form, award submission form, robot game submission form, and we'll go in detail about that as well. And people, you can see other teams that are in the event, and you will likely know who they are by looking at their team numbers. And you will see teachers. Teachers are me, Lisa, and any event staff that we'll have. Classwork. So this is the classwork page. You will see that at the top, we will have event information. The first thing on that site is handbook, because handbook has all the answers to all the questions that you probably will have. And we spend a lot of time putting it together. So please make sure you check that out. If you have any questions after that, please do let us know. After that will be judging schedule. Each team will only be able to see their own judging schedule. So if you are scheduled for Monday at 3 p.m., you will not be able to see any other team's schedules. The schedule that are on the Google Classroom today is not accurate. So if you do log in and you see it, you should not be able to see it. But if you do see it, that is not an accurate schedule. That has been changed. Zoom link will also be in that file that we'll share. So you'll have your time slot, your day, time, and the Zoom link for that meeting. So if you will be joining a Zoom call on Monday, we'll also include a Zoom call link for the Zoom call on Monday. And if the Zoom link doesn't work the day of the event, so like if you have a judging schedule for Monday and the Zoom link that we sent didn't work, again, you can always email us, and then we'll be on our emails and on the Zoom calls, making sure everyone is there. And that's why we're actually asking you to join 10 minutes before, 10, 15 minutes before, as to avoid any last minute issues where people cannot join or they have a wrong link. Robot game section, it details when robot game submissions are due. So they are due on April 19th at 12 p.m. Practice round, if you want to get some feedback from me or Lisa, should be submitted between April 1st and April 16th on video production and not scoring. Sorry, this needs to change, and not scoring. We're not scoring anything for that. So you're not going to get any feedback on how many points you got or where did you lose points. And I think this is all, but I want to also show you an actual Google Classroom. So let me just stop sharing this. Wait, do you see a Google Classroom on my page right now? But I don't see it. Okay. So this is an example of a student login. So once you log in, it will say FLL remote event. So if you click on that, welcome to FLL remote event. And you can see that recently we have been changing stuff. Again, classroom, right? You will have award submission, a coach and mentor award submission form. It's already available. Consent and release form, if you click, it has some details on how you can do it. And the New York City first consent release form, that is a fillable PDF. So if you want to share that with parents, feel free to. And then, so if you click on view assignment, next, got it. You can upload. So once you have students complete either screenshots or PDFs, just rename them with the student's name so we can identify who it belongs to. And you will create at and just upload the file. Or if you upload it to Google Drive, just put Google Drive. And then if that's a folder, just attach that here. And please make sure you mark as done or submit, because if you do not click that, we will not be able to score it, whether it's a robot game, whether it's a consent and release form, whether it's an award submission form. We'll not be able to see it until you click mark as done or submit. So if it's not done, so for example, if you upload your videos for match 1 and your score sheet, but you do not click submit, we will not be able to score that match. So you'll get 0 points because we can't access it until you click submit for us. So again, handbook, judging schedule is not available yet because we're making it individual. So every team will see only their own scores. And here we go, optional practice round match, robot game match 1. For score sheet, you can use FLL tutorials. It's very easy. It will just take some time. So you can score your missions at the end. And then when you click save, sorry, no, not save. If you print, that's what I meant. If you print, you can save it as PDFs. It will be very nice and easy. You can save it as a PDF. While saving, you could just put your team number and match 1, and if you want estimated total score, how many points you got, and you just click save. Right. Team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 100 points. And that was saved, and then all you have to do is, while you're uploading your video on Google Classroom, you just attach that PDF file as well as your score sheet, so referees could reference that to what they have after watching your videos. This is all I have. If you have any questions, please let us know.